Hello, I'm Dudley Thompson, and welcome again to WDT Media TV. We're here at Selassie High School for the launch of the Police Youth Club. This is the action behind me inside the school's auditorium.
Thank you, Sir Rowe. The protocols having been established, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, or boys and girls that would have been a part of this awesome launch. Good afternoon to you all. So we are all very anxious for the reopening of our schools. Some persons more than others. Some parents more than others. Because for some parents, they were not blessed with the resources to provide the technology, the technological devices for their children to remain in teaching and learning. And for those parents who had, there were also other parents who did not have the opportunity to provide the adequate supervision for their boys and girls when they were not in school. And so in the full resumption of school, we would have been seeing in the media the incidents of violence. And it is a cause for concern. And the incidents of violence not limited only to schools in inner city communities, but even in many rural parishes, many of our schools. Some schools not known to be involved in violence are making the headline in relation to a violent activity. Is it a crisis? Absolutely not. It is a cause for concern. It is a cause for concern for our schools to be doing some things differently. It is a cause for concern for our parents to be doing some things differently. It's a cause for concern to the entire communities where our boys and girls live to be doing some things differently. So on one hand, we have the increased incidence of violence in our schools. On the other hand, I don't know how many of you, well, I'm assuming all of us, because this year Boys and Girls Camp was on television non-stop. We also saw another snippet of our education system, of our schools, of our boys and girls who would have excelled even in a pandemic. Excelled to the point where Boys and Girls Camp is an international brand from a small country, where we are finding some of the most prominent scouts across the world coming to Jamaica to see our boys and girls in action. That even in a pandemic, many records would have been broken. And we're not talking about boys and girls who come from name-brand families and name-brand communities. Many of the boys and girls doing camps were boys and girls from humble beginning, from poor parents, from parents who struggle every day to send their children to school, even to provide lunch money for them. We're not taking that for granted. For boys and girls, in particular you, I want you to know that you have a choice. You have a choice to be among those who would not understand the value of education, that sometimes bring the baggages of your own childhood experiences to school, and you would not have maximized the opportunity that education will provide for you. Or you will be among the thousands of our boys and girls in our public school system, irrespective of the school, that will rise above the circumstances of their lived experiences to make something of themselves. It's a choice that only you can make. Now, as a school, I want to congratulate Selassie because the school also understands that it has a responsibility to beyond teaching the academics, to opportunities for our children to excel. So I never hear my school, St. George's College, name mentioned no time at all in boys and girls. Not at all. I didn't hear Selassie either being mentioned in boys and girls club. But I want to say this to you, students of Selassie High. A few years ago, I met a brother from the community, inner city community, Mr. Liston Jackson. He would have said to me, Sir Troop, I'm going to introduce badminton in our inner city communities and in our inner city schools. Selassie was one of the schools that was selected to participate in this program. Not only did Selassie participate in the program, but some of our national players came from this noble institution. Give a big round of applause for Selassie. Not many schools talk about school song. And I hear you have a big song. Give yourself a round of applause. The challenge is I don't have the voice for that song. I think I'm going to think that kind of singer. Yeah. But the other thing I want before I close to say, as a child, and that was some time ago, I grew up in an innocent community too. I grew up in Greenwich Town. And I would have worked in Greenwich Town for over 30 years as a community leader and a community organizer. And so one of the things I recognize with organizations like a police club is that it plays an important role in shaping and molding, providing exposure to our boys and girls, especially for us, who sometimes our worldview is very limited to the community we grew up in, the family we come from, or the school we attend. And what this Police Youth Club Progress provides for you, boys and girls, is the opportunity for exposure. As a child growing up, I never knew Alpha Tree. I grew up in British Town, and I never knew where Alpha Tree was. I never had no country to go to in the summer because my family never come from country. Born under the clock. And what Youth Club would have done for me back then is to provide that exposure in a structured, organized, deliberate way. And so I want to thank the Jamaica Constabulary Force, the Community Safety and Security Branch, and all the players that would have supported this effort. Because it is these kinds of efforts that is going to provide the opportunities for us as boys and girls to realize our full potential. So I say to you, boys and girls, that I don't want to be a member of the Selassie Police Youth Club. That is a given. I want you to be a leader. I want you to know that you can make an impact, that you must leave a legacy of positiveness in your school. That as a young leader, you can also bring about the change that you would like to see in your lives as young people, in the school community, and in the communities from which you come. I believe it is possible because we have been there and we have done that. And we are now providing an opportunity for you also to find your purpose, to excel and to make an impact. Happy to see the girls. I'm more happy to see the boys. Because boys, trust me, sometimes you get the impression that we are not among the chosen few that will also make a difference in our communities and in the lives of our family. So continue to excel. Also know that the Safety and Security in Schools Unit will be a partner, your partner too, in any way that we can help. And I want to thank you for being here, the opportunity to be here, to witness what I am seeing. And I can only applaud you as you grow from strength to strength. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sir Troop. And just before one of my facilitators for the Police Youth Club come to introduce the executive member, I just want to introduce the close team that will be working with the Police Youth Club. I can remember when Sergeant Bloomfield came to me and said, Mr. Rowe, my boss, say I mustn't take no. So I want this club at this school and I'm not taking no for an answer. And I remember once I texted him and I said, Mr. Bloomfield, we're having some challenges, And he said, Mr. Rowe, I'm on sick leave. I'll talk to you on Monday. And by the Friday, he was here before the Monday. He came off sick leave just to ensure that he was here to solve the issue that we were having, to ensure that this launch could happen today. Sergeant Bloomfield, thank you, sir. And based on what he would have explained and expressed to us, we would have selected the teachers to work with the students, because I'm of the philosophy that a student will not always, or a child will not always remember what you have taught them, but they will always remember how you made them feel. And that is something that I work by, because you must allow a child to feel special. So I selected the team. Miss Midlos, could you please stand, please? Who is the chief organizer from our end that's responsible for today? They're asking for you to come to the front so that they can see you. And she's also here as a part of one of the initiatives from Mr. Chu. She's a social worker here. She has been here since January. So she has only been here for 3 months. And she has gotten involved in a club activity. Miss A. Green. And Mr. Williamson. So this is the team from Haile Selassie High School who will be working closely with the students to ensure that they are there at the meetings and they are working out at the meetings. They're turning out at the meetings. Thank you all. Mr. Williamson will now introduce the
Thank you. One love, one heart. Let's get together. All members of the PYC, please stand. All members, please stand. So, we are here today, and we are here because we are doing what? What are we doing? We are helping to build a better Jamaica. And I see the pledge. I pledge myself to give my mind, spirit, and body to the service in the program, and let us all say, members of the PYC. After 2, 1, 2. I pledge myself to give my mind, spirit, and body to the service of God, and to do that which is best for the upliftment of myself, my club, my community, and my island home. Thank you. Always remember your motto. Take it with you. When times get hard, and always remember your reason for joining this club. As we establish this partnership, let us continue to build, save, and sustain the communities. The 2030 vision calls for this kind of partnership and inclusion to ensure that Jamaica is the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business. As we officially launch the Haile, is it Haile Selassie? Selassie Police Youth Club, we will remember that we are always striving to build a better Jamaica. The Haile Selassie Youth Club is now officially launched. Commendations and Club leader? Who is the Police Youth Club leader? For the police. Start. Because we have to give them that charge today now. Because you know why? Too many times we launch these clubs, whether it be neighborhood watch groups or police youth clubs, we launch them today, and what happened, Mr. Principal? You never see us again. So I have to give this young man, you see how he's young? Your age group, understand your culture. Because a lot of us really don't understand the culture of our young people. As our motivational speaker said, don't give them any red card. Try with them. Try with them. Don't give them any red card. So come and introduce yourself. He is your police youth club leader. So let him introduce himself.
Good afternoon, everyone. All protocol observed. My name is Maurice Morgan, District Constable of Police, attached to the St. Andrew South Community Safety and Security Department. And I just want to encourage all of you that you're on the right path and you have made the right step, and continue to do good and look out for each other. Thank you.
Police youth club members, you can just call me and tell me every time that you don't see you. Alright? Just call me, call Mr. Bloomfield, call Mr. Chu. Mr. Ellis? We're not only launching today, we are going to be here forever. Partnership with you and the school community. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now, as we had promised, we have tokens to give out, so we're going to ask the executive members to line up first. Executive members, come this way quickly. I believe we want to start with the ACP, Ms. Shan. We're going to ask you to hand out these tokens to the first 5 executive members. I believe you might want to give it where the banner is. Tracy, step forward.
It's been months when I put on the mask. I'm saying go around the other side of the camera and take it from that angle.
Police, Mr. Kirkrickets, to distribute 500 bags. Can we have 4 more students, 4 more members of the PYC here, please? We're now going to invite Mr. Richard Chu from the Ministry of Education. Can we have 5 more members, please? And of course, the gift token was an idea from our principal, so we're going to invite him to also do the honor of distributing some of the bags to the students.
Get out your mouth. Don't block the school sign.